We spent a small fortune upgrading this kitchen through the builder, but there were a few things that I flat out refused to pay for because I knew I could do them better myself after move-in. Here are 6 of those upgrades that I DIY'd that made our home feel more custom. If you're new here, I'm Joanne from Jo's Abode. I'm all about small changes that make a big impact on both the look and feel of a space, and this kitchen has been my biggest project since we moved in. 1. Mixing metals and hardware styles. When we walked into our decor center appointment, I was honestly floored at how limited the hardware options were, and how expensive. I knew from the start that I wanted to mix hardware styles, so I told them to leave all the doors bare so I could drill into them ourselves after move-in. For the kitchen, I went with unlacquered brass for the most part, combined with polished nickel to keep things warm but still mixed. It's one of those decisions that sounds risky on paper but looks a lot more intentional in person. I also did a variation of differently designed knobs and pulls. 2. Soft close cabinet retrofit. When we first moved in, I barely noticed the door slamming because we didn't have soft close at our old house either. A few weeks in though, it became really obvious how much the sound echoed through the whole house. Rather than swapping out all the hinges, I found a simple add-on damper that retrofits into the existing hinge. It's the easiest possible fix and costs way less than swapping out all the hinges, and it makes a difference you notice every single day. 3. Pull-out trash and recycling bins. When the design center quoted us almost $3,000 for a pull-out trash and recycling system, we just looked at each other and quietly nodded. I already knew I was going to do this myself after move-in. I bought the pull-out mechanism from Amazon and the bins from IKEA. The whole thing came to under $250. The mechanism comes with an installation template that made the whole process really straightforward. Make sure to check the clearance for your slides though, so you know that everything fits. 4. Swapping a large cabinet to a drawer stack. At this point, it's probably obvious that I'd turn every cabinet into a drawer if I could, and I still might. But it was actually our narrow builder drawers that made it clear how badly we needed a proper drawer stack. The utensil holder we had for years at our old house didn't even fit inside it. So I converted the cabinet right beside it into a full-width drawer stack that matches the original in depth and height, but actually fits all our stuff. Heavier bowls and cookware in the lower drawer, everything else above. I'm still working out how exactly I want to organize these drawers, but this is already so much more functional than what was there before. And our cooking utensils, I found them a much better home. Number 5, cooking utensil pullout. Having my utensils behind me in the island never really made sense to me, so I converted this narrow cabinet into a pull-out drawer with a grid-style holder for the containers. I drilled pocket holes and used pocket hole screws to put everything together. This grid format is much easier to build and doesn't require me to cut perfect circles that fit the utensil holders exactly. And now I no longer have to step away from the stove when I need another utensil for cooking. If you're enjoying this, make sure you subscribe before the last one. It's the simplest swap in this whole list, but it's the one people always ask me about when they see the kitchen. 6. Outlet cover and receptacle swap. When I chose Taj Mahal quartzite for the countertops and backsplash, I knew immediately that the standard white outlets were going to stick out like a sore thumb. Moving them wasn't an option, because that's just the reality of a builder home, but replacing the covers was. I tried 2 versions of this, one in the Lutron Cafe Latte color and the other in the Lutron taupe, and it was clear that the Lutron taupe was the winner. Are they perfectly invisible? No, but they're significantly less distracting than the white ones that came with the house, and against the quartzite, they basically disappear. Let me know in the comments which one of these you'd try yourself. This kitchen is still a work in progress. We've been here 6 months and I'm still figuring out what actually works for how we live. So there's definitely a lot more coming. Until next time, bye.